Good morning. Welcome back to Hiking with Kathleen. Today, Shannon and I are on a day trip. We're heading from Wheatley Provincial Park down to Point Pelee, and Point Pelee is where we're going to go and spend some time paddling around the marsh. Hope you stay with us. So we had a good night. Yesterday was a great day of viewing around Wheatley Provincial Park. So today we're just doing a day trip into Point Pelee. We have our kayaks, we're going to go paddling around, and we're taking you along. We're almost ready to push off. And it's going to be a hot one. So that's why we came here early. Right now it's about 8:30, 8:35. We're looking forward to meandering through the cattails. Oh, great blue heron, there it goes. Yeah, we don't want to be disruptive. We see there's photographers around, but we don't know what they're looking at until we scare away the animal. We should tell them to go to Wheatley, where there's tons of great blue herons and great egrets. The last time we came here to Point Pelee, they were dredging up this area here with a machine, because you can see that the water lilies grow in, they'll fill in this area. That's called succession. So you have emergent plants, and emergent plants will be able to reach the sediment at the bottom, the silt, and they fill in the area as they are basically vying for a new habitat. They are growing in that area. Ultimately, this would probably become a wet meadow. But because they keep dredging it, it allows recreational paddlers to come through here, and then we can head out into Lake Erie if we so choose, or just among the other cattails and little areas that are little canals created within this marsh area. What a treat to be able to see that swan family. The ones that are grayish colored are the cygnets. Those are the young swans. The young ones will stay with the parents. There's a lot of adults. Okay, so it's 2 pairs and 3 cygnets. And the cygnets stay with the parents for the entire year. So they'll migrate with the parents if that's what the parents choose to do. Sometimes swans don't migrate. And what happens then is they learn the ropes from the parents. And then when the parents return to the north, if they migrate, and it's the next breeding season, the cygnets are let loose. So under normal circumstances, when swans migrate, they return with the parents, and then they have to, carry on their own. And then the parents get busy with the next nesting season. So that's a really cool thing to be able to see that. We don't want to get too close and scare them, but we want to be able to give you the opportunity to see them, and we're curious too. they seem to be pretty used to people because there's probably a lot of paddlers that come through here in the summer. We're just reveling in how cool it is to be out here paddling around and to be able to come across those swans. Now we saw another pocket. Shannon pointed them out on the other side of the marsh. They're just keeping their distance, but they're pretty used to people, it seems. So we didn't want to frighten them, so we just let them do their thing and videoed what we could while we were in their vicinity. But we found a little pocket here where the water is quite calm, and we just came from water that was a little bit wavier, and that's just because it's out in the open. But we're not out at the lake yet. I don't know, is that where we're going?
I'm following you. You start paddling.
Okay, I have a job to do. For the most part, while paddling through here, I saw that it looked like it was mostly cattails without phragmites. And so I see there's a pretty well-established patch of phragmites all along this shoreline. And it's so hard to stay on top of it. That's an invasive plant species, and unlike cattails, which naturally occur, phragmites grow so well that they close in the area, and it makes it very difficult for wildlife to move in between the reeds in order to have their nests or to, you know, forage for food. So anyway, oftentimes it's a management effort to manually go in and remove phragmites, because of course the alternative is two alternatives. One is to leave it and it overtakes the whole marshland, and the other alternative is to use chemicals, which oftentimes can be non-specific and kill other things. So anyway, that's too bad. I'm just witnessing now that we've got phragmites here that have established themselves, and it's really hard when after they establish themselves, to try and get rid of it. So I pulled over because I was having some breakfast on the go. Just had some mixed nuts and things like that with me. And I heard a bit of a rumble from the sky. So Shannon was off exploring, and she came back because she looked at the color of the sky. And when you're out on the water, you're vulnerable. So, you know, we've got, I think it said something like 32 degrees Celsius. I just checked the weather. We don't feel the heat. It's very, very comfortable because we've got this breeze. But with the heat, you can have pop-up storms. So we're not going to mess around with that. And we're going to head back. But I mean, this has been really great. I think we've been out here for about an hour and a half now. So, and we've been taking our time, so I think we'll probably make it back in shorter time than that. So Shannon and I have paddled back here as quickly as we can, and we just passed two couples who are heading out, and they're all sort of, you know, in their like 40s, 50s, that kind of thing. But I'm thinking they're looking at the same sky that we are. I just hope they don't go too far. The reason I'm so cautious about thunder and lightning is from my years of work at Wheatley Provincial Park. Most of that time was spent as a park warden, and I was writing up the accident reports of what would happen when a thunderstorm would come through the park. And sometimes lightning would strike things that people were staying in, trailers, things of that nature, trees that would fall on tents. And I mean, I'm not trying to scare anyone. I'm just saying that I have a lot of respect for Mother Nature and for the wallop that can be packed when a lightning storm comes through. When I was a financial planner, which was my second career, I had this lovely client. It was a husband and wife, and they lost a son in a fishing boat to a lightning strike. So anyway, it's just something I have great respect for. And I know that Mother Nature has her own way. So I try to stay out of the way. So that's where you sit and wait for the tram. It goes on a schedule, I don't know, every 20 minutes, every 30 minutes. So anyway, that's where, I don't know if we're gonna go down or not because it's warm. But anyway, we're gonna go check out the visitor center. We always like to see what they have in the gift shop. That's funny, some frogs are maybe smarter than others and they jump in. I was just hovering this this GoPro over them and some just stayed put.
Not as much national parks. And then a couple of numerous.
So I just finished spending some time in the visitor center and had all kinds of questions for Emma, who is working at the desk. She's, I guess, in the resource management area. So anyway, I had all kinds of questions regarding turtles and snakes. Just, wow, this sky is looking pretty mean. I'm glad we're off the water. But anyway, yeah, so she had a lot of great answers for me. So it gave me an idea of what kind of turtle management, turtle egg management they do here. They do some, but they don't do it for all species. They do it for map turtles, and they do it for Blandings turtles. So anyway, Shannon and I are going to eat in the truck. We were going to take the tram down to the point, but I don't know. Have a look at the sky.